When it comes to making Rolling Sky levels, the 5-star category level has always been the most popular difficulty in the game, but because of this, it also means it's the most made difficulty in the game. I decided to calculate the total number of levels in each category with their official ratings, including the fan mail with the fan-made given difficulty, up to the Midnight Go-Around update. The total number of 5 stars came out to be 60, which is honestly insane. Second place was a 3-star category with 48 levels, followed by the 4-star levels with 42 levels. Since the 5-star levels has this problem, when it comes to a new 5-star level being added, it can be extremely difficult to tell whether the level will actually be difficult or not. This is especially a problem with the co-creation levels that aren't even ranked by difficulty, so I can never tell how hard a 5-star co-creation level is. A 5-star level could be as easy as Mecha or Varying Christmas, or it could be as difficult as Pipeline or Phantom Thief. Honestly, the idea of these levels being in the same difficulty category is insane, as on one hand, Mecha took me like 15 minutes to perfect. Phantom Thief took me 4 hours, with Pipeline taking me 6 hours of pure misery to perfect. Yes, I understand that there will be some difficulty differences between levels in the given difficulty category, but it's extreme with the 5-star levels. At least with the 6-star levels, you already wouldn't jump off a cliff because of how difficult they are, but with the 5-star levels, they're either chill or just freaking insane. I'd also argue the 4-star levels has somewhat of a similar problem as the 5 stars, but it's not as annoying as the 5 stars because at least most of the 4-star levels actually feel like 4 stars and deserve the ranking they have. The only 4-star levels I feel should maybe be upgraded to a 5-star would be Foggy City and maybe Dino Disco, but that's a topic for another video because I have strong opinions on Dino Disco. So in the end, what should happen with the 5-star levels? What should be changed? Well, I have a few suggestions that I know will be controversial, but I thought it'd be interesting to share my thoughts behind this regardless, as something really needs to be done about this. Suggestion 1. Dividing some of the 5-star levels into either 4 or 6-star levels. Thankfully, this is something that has already happened before, with levels like Relics and Reggae being downgraded to a 4-star, and Halloween Night being upgraded to a 6-star. However, I still don't think that was enough. There are 2 problems with the solution. 1, I'd say most of the valid quote-unquote 5-star levels have already been downgraded. There are still a few co-creation levels that should be downgraded, looking at you Industrial Age, but really outside of that, I do feel all the easiest 5-star levels have been downgraded enough. I know some feels levels like Street Basketball or even Microchip, I don't get it with Microchip, should be downgraded, but I feel both of these are fine as being a 5-star due to them having their own hard parts. When it comes to the 5-star levels being upgraded to the 6-star difficulty, Minimax has already confirmed this won't happen. I mean, for crying out loud, Pipeline and Happy seemingly have been confirmed to actually be 6-star levels, thrown into the 5-star category only because they aren't special enough, which to me is offensive. Pipeline is my 4th overall favorite level, with Happy literally being my favorite. What do you mean they aren't special? Emotions aside, my thought is, don't make a 6-star level if you're gonna put it in the 5-star category. I feel it's false advertising in the sense that you expect to have a 5-star difficulty when it doesn't. A 5-star level should not take me 6 hours to pass. Cough cough Pipeline. Suggestion 2, probably the most controversial option here. Making a 7-star difficulty category. I know a lot of people have expressed not liking the idea, and I completely get it. For 1, 7 is an awkward number, and 2, is it actually that necessary? From my understanding, the issue most has with adding a 7-star category comes down to the difficulty rankings that are set in stone right now, as in keeping everything the way they are, but adding a new 7-star category. What I am suggesting is upgrading the current 6-star levels into the 7-star category, and then moving some of the 5-star levels into the 6-star category. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best options we have to improve the 5-star problem, as by adding another category of difficulty in the game, a game that has 200 plus levels by the way, makes it much easier to decide a level's actual difficulty without things getting confusing. Now, if this were to happen with the current setup, where would the divide be? I'm personally a bit stumped, as I only want the really hard 5-star levels to be placed here. I'd say ideally, Robotoy and up should become a 6-star, though I can also see an argument of Neon and above. Suggestion 3, having a literal divide between easy and 5-star levels. Probably the most awkward suggestion here, and probably my least favorite, but it's something I thought I'd bring up anyways. This would mean there'd be 2 separate 5-star categories, one for the easier 5-star levels and one for the harder. It would be cut right down the middle of the level options we have. If this happened, it would mean we'd probably have to refer to each 5-star by either easy 5-star or hard 5-star. This would essentially be like how the current setup is with the 4 and 3-star levels. But again, I really don't like this suggestion, but I thought I'd just bring it up anyways. Suggestion 4. Literally reworking the whole difficulty ranking. One thing I can appreciate about Geometry Dash is the fact that it has a huge rank scale, that being 1 to 10 stars, and also having subcategories for the demon levels. This honestly makes it much easier to determine a level's difficulty without much of an issue, at least in my opinion. I don't play GD all that much anymore, so I'm unsure with how the community feels about the difficulty ranking in the game, but I think that it could be applied very well to Rolling Sky if they attempted this. The problem though is that they did this. This would make everyone rethink how the difficulty system works, and it would take a good while for everyone to get a good understanding of what each category means. This would be a very risky move on Rolling Sky's end, as it might cause a lot of confusion in the community. However, if they're actually able to pull this off somehow, it would definitely be very beneficial to the difficulty ranking as a whole. Okay, I'm not reading the script that I wrote for the conclusion because fuck it. But again, this is probably a very controversial take. I don't know how y'all feel about the difficulty ranking, but I always felt that it was completely imbalanced, especially with the 5 stars. So if y'all don't agree, it's completely fine. If y'all think the difficulty ranking is fine as is, completely fair. This is just my thoughts, and I thought it'd be interesting if I shared my points with y'all. I'm still a bit behind on Rolling Sky levels, but one of the levels I still haven't played is Polar Expedition, and I literally cannot tell how difficult it is. So, this is where a lot of my problems stem, especially with the co-creation levels, because I can't tell how difficult they're gonna be. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is a new kind of video. I'm hoping to do more videos like this in the future. I'm hoping this comes out well. This is actually my second time recording this, because the first time I did, I used my headphones, my earbuds, excuse me, to record, and the voice quality was pretty bad. So I'm using something else. I'm hoping this comes out much better. But yeah, feel free to leave your opinions down below. I don't know how y'all feel, but I'd love to hear what y'all think about this. So yeah, thank you and bye.